It's going to take a village. It's going to take a group of women to make a difference in the NFL. We know our self-worth. We know our self-value. We respect ourselves more. This needs to stop. Intimidation needs to stop. The silence needs to stop. And we need to speak up. Being raised in a military home, I was taught that the military will break you down, break you down, break you down, but then they'll rise up these strong leaders. And as an NFL cheerleader, it was like I was broken down, broken down, broken down, but then I was forced to stay down. There was no room to rise up. There was no room to be an individual, to be a leader. I had to stay there. The first thing they mention is that you are here to be seen and not heard. So there's no room for your opinion or any concerns, that you just say, yes, ma'am, and you do what you're told, you put a smile on your face, and you just perform. You know, there is this sense of intimidation and manipulation on the squad. And anytime you raise an opinion or ask a question, you know, you're threatened that there's a million other girls that would take your position, so you either deal with it or you leave. I started hearing more and more often of how you're only special when you're in the uniform. You know, you're completely replaceable. All we need is a pretty face. You know, if a fan comes up to you and he touches your butt or grabs you too tight, you're just supposed to make nice and just smile and be like, oh, whoops, your hand slipped. I think about this. If I would have come on the team at 18 years old, and that's what I was being taught on how to handle sexual harassment, you're teaching me that my voice doesn't matter. You know, there was a lot of lack of support in many areas. When we got hurt or injured, we were basically told that we were weak and we just had to toughen up and deal with it. By the end of my career, I was dancing on 4 broken bones, 2 sprained MCLs, 2 sprained meniscus, left shoulder and right hip. And it was this sense of trying to prove that I was a strong woman, that I could take anything that comes my way, that I wasn't weak, that I wasn't too emotional, that I wasn't too sensitive, that I wasn't all of these names that they were calling me. And it started to raise question of the people that were, you know, in position as leaders. They're not only controlling us on the sidelines, controlling us in interviews, controlling us in photo shoots, but they also have a sense of control and ownership in our personal lives. One important trial to me was I had just given my life publicly to Christ, and I got baptized on April 10th, 2016. And then I'm on the way to my interview, which was 2 days after I got baptized. And I'm sitting in this interview room with my director and all of my coaches, and they want to talk about my vow to wait for marriage, about my true love waits ring. And it was shocking to me, one, just the fact that something like that was being brought up in an interview. And then to be accused that everyone knows this about me and that I was talking about it to everyone, it just wasn't true. And I responded saying, I don't think everyone does know this about me. This is just my personal conviction to God. This is just something that I believe in. And it was interrupted that I had taken something that was once upon a time pure and beautiful, and I've made it dirty. You tell me that I need to develop into a woman. It just doesn't make sense to me. I got to see the football players publicly share their faith without any limitations. And I got told that I couldn't mention God and that I couldn't mention Jesus Christ on my social media page. And I was just thinking, me, a woman, a cheerleader, when did I lose my rights? Why can't I share my faith publicly? It was like they were making me choose, you know, do you want to be a Christian or do you want to be a cheerleader? I guess there came a time where I had to ask myself, at what price? At what price was I willing to pay to be a cheerleader? It was the hardest decision I've ever had to make. I didn't want to give up. I thought that by leaving, it meant that I lost, that they won, that I was proven as everything that they called me. And but what I realized was that not staying and me walking away was what made me strong. You know, I walked away from something that was toxic. It was poison for me. That confusion that I had, that brokenness, that not knowing my worth, just losing my own value, and to release that uniform from my hands, like to let go of something that I thought was my everything. What they told me was that I was only special in the uniform, and now I don't have it. And even though then I thought that I had lost everything, I actually lost nothing, and I gained everything. So if women stood together, it would be harder to break us than if we were standing alone. You know, I want to help encourage and genuinely empower women. Do I think NFL cheerleaders should be getting paid a whole lot more? Definitely, especially at least enough to live off of. I mean, I was working 3 other jobs and I still was sinking. I still didn't have enough money. It needs to be a full-time job, full-time pay, with benefits. I mean, we get injuries all the time too. Like, we need someone there. We need a trainer. We need an outlet. We need a mentor. We need someone that we can go to with concerns. I really, really pray that my story will encourage someone and that it hopefully provides strength and courage that other women will take a stand against what's happening behind the uniform.